It's bright and sunny, but there's still snow everywhere. Woo! I think my shoes are so muddy right now. I just about stepped in poop. Whoa! Whoa! I got crap on my shoe, shooting all of that. Alright, well, hope you enjoyed that B-roll. Now to the story. Today, like I said, I want to tell you a story. I had some coworkers that we really wanted to do a Spartan race, right? And this was around springtime last year, 2017. And so we did a Spartan race in Boise. It was called a Spartan Sprint. That one was around 3 to 5 miles, and we felt like we did pretty dang good. We survived. That's what really mattered the most there. And we were feeling the fire, like we just wanted to keep going. And so then we decided to sign up for the Spartan Beast. The Spartan Beast is advertised as a 12-mile race with about 30 plus obstacles. So my wife, being from Seattle, I understood somewhat how Seattle terrain was, right? A good amount of uneven ground, a lot of hills, but it's like in the mountains, in the trees, so you're like in the forest kind of thing. So it would be kind of fun. We're pretty excited for that. But for me, being here in Rexburg, Idaho, that was actually one of the hardest things to prepare for. I felt like I prepared myself really well. I went to the gym a lot, lifted weights, pull-ups, push-ups, all of the above. I felt like I was doing so much. Even my diet, right? I had to cut down on the donuts. That was the hardest part. Donuts. So a little bit more about Spartan races. They vary from a Spartan Sprint, a Spartan Super, or a Spartan Beast. So we did a Spartan Sprint as a group of coworkers, and the Spartan Beast, only 4 of us decided to do it. There was me, TJ, Hiram, and Nate. And since we were an even number, going into the race we knew we would split into 2 groups. So we decided it would be Hiram and TJ, and me and Nate. Along with that, we had my wife there, and TJ's wife there to make sure that we survived the race. I think they played the biggest role, honestly. So, like I said, the race was advertised around 12 plus miles. When we got there, we were told it was 13.1 miles. So that's pretty much like a half a marathon. I was like, all right, well, this is it. There's no way back. So, on to the race. 3 to 4 miles in, I felt great. Me and Nate were just rocking it. Let me show you a picture of one of the very first obstacles. This was a river crawl. We were like on the side of the river. There was rocks, water, just a bunch of crap on the ground, and then we had to be under those rubber wires. We had to kind of crawl under that. We had a ton of energy going into this. We were excited, we were pumped up. So the first 3 to 4 miles weren't that bad at all. Now, after a few more obstacles, which we were doing really well on, we started getting into really the rough terrain. We started getting into the forest. Nate kind of got ahead of me because there was a lady that I had to help get up, and Nate's a pretty fast dude. The path was getting really, really narrow to where you can't really stop on the side. People behind you, they're going fast and you want to keep going fast. And that's when things really took a turn for the worse for me. And so with that said, it's getting really cold out here. I'm on the BYUI campus, and so I think it's time to head home and finish the rest of the story. All right, let's go. All right, now we're home. So, where did they end at last time? After the stairway obstacle, we had a good long stretch that we had to run. As I was running, Nate kind of got ahead of me because there was one obstacle I was falling a little bit behind on. And one part of this rocky terrain, root terrain, muddy terrain, combination of everything, my ankle decided to give out on me and I twisted my ankle. It didn't really hurt me right away, but after a few obstacles, I started really feeling it. Specifically, right before the bucket carry. And this bucket carry in this race, it started off on a hill, right? So this is when I started getting really hard on myself. I started telling myself, all right, are you kidding me? A hill, another one? This time I gotta carry a bucket with a twisted ankle. So I was starting to really beat myself up, and my mind was just kind of going crazy. My body was dying. We're about 10 miles in, maybe 9 miles. I can't even remember. But anyways, I was having a really hard time. Well, here's a picture to show that. This was on the flatter terrain when I actually got over the hill. But this is actually one of my most favorite pictures that was taken of me throughout the whole race. And one of the bigger reasons was because of Nate. And I was ready to put the bucket back on the ground to give myself a little bit of rest. Then I see Nate start walking towards me, and he grabs my bucket and finished the rest of the bucket carry route. Once I got to a specific obstacle, after a couple more obstacles, that's when I almost really shut down. It was the fireman ladder, right? It was kind of like a hanging ladder. It was a loose ladder. There was a good amount of steps on the way up and on the way down. Set my hands on the first couple of steps and my foot on the very first step. I was petrified. I was scared, right? There was no cushion just in case you fell, right? There was a good ways up, at least from my point of view, to be able to get to the bell. You got to ring the bell and head back down. I was scared. But my friend Hiram, who already finished the race, who already had his medal around his neck, along with TJ, came to that specific obstacle and told me these words. You can do this, one step at a time. Long story short, I know this has been kind of long, I finished the race, I got my medal, and we ate a lot of food after that. Here's proof, I finished, yeah! So I don't tell this story to like brag about being able to finish the race, or brag about my friends, or brag about this medal, whatever it is. I tell this story to teach something very, very important. We're all on this path in life. We're all on a different journey, but we all have this specific path that we're following. And along this path, we're going to have a lot of these obstacles, right? A lot more than the 30 obstacles we had in the race. And so with that said, along this path, you'll meet people that can help you and that you can help. And ultimately, that's what's going to provide the greatest joy in your life, right? You being able to help others and them being able to help you. And I know this has been a long story, but I hope you got something out of it. Because it's not about really quitting. It's not about giving yourself a hard time. Life isn't about comparing yourself to others. Life is about enjoying it as best as you can, with proper balance, and allowing yourself to influence others while they influence you. I appreciate you letting me ramble a little bit and letting me teach this specific lesson. And I'm looking forward to share more of my experiences with everybody. Bye.